Welcome, welcome. I was just as I was finishing up, getting ready to come in here, I was thinking about the core of what we're really up to in these gatherings is experiencing the nourishment of direct attention. So, when you're in you go into a room, or you're going into a party and going into a meeting, and you kind of gaze around and somebody looks at you with that kind of, I see you, I recognize you, you're welcome. That's that kind of attention that I think all of us need on a daily basis, and we so rarely get the opportunity to both give and receive that nourishment. And the quote that I wanted to read to you today is from Pema Chodron, and it has to do also with presence, because my experience is that when we're going fast and run by adrenaline and are doing and doing, we aren't really receiving any presence. And so her quote is, if we stay present with the rawness of our direct experience, emotional energy can move through us without getting stuck. So the staying present, well, first of all, it's been my experience that we don't stay anything. So if we can then presence ourselves, my sense is that the loop of awareness that we're practicing allows us to return to presence, because there's so many different distractions and things that take our presence away from that direct nourishment, that I consider loop of awareness is really it's similar to meditation in that you're returning to your mantra, you're returning to the breath. And for me, it's a returning to a direct experience of, here's me, here's you, here's me, here's the world, and that I get my presence woven in with the rest of the world. And so for our a loop of awareness practice today, I wanted to have you first give attention to a body sensation. And I'd like you to notice if you let your awareness actually land on the body sensation. So notice, and then let your attention, I wanted to, for the other part of your loop of awareness, I wanted you to let yourself look out as far as you can and then as near as you can to you. So for your looping out, you'll be noticing far out and close in. And that does a very lovely thing to your eyes. And then when you come to you, I want you to notice a body sensation. So let your awareness lead you to a body sensation. And then notice how you either land on it, or you skip by it, or you go someplace else, or you're there for a second and you get distracted. So let yourself just play with that for a moment or two, where you're looking out far and in close, and then body sensation. So I noticed my body sensation where I was being drawn to my sits bones. And I noticed that I kind of hovered a little bit, and I could feel I was a little buzzy with my attention. And so I let my attention kind of settle like a saucer underneath my sits bones, and letting my sits bones rest into my attention. So when you're letting your attention go inside, I want you to notice if you land, if you surround, if your attention feels wide and inclusive, or if it's pokey, because usually when we're giving attention to ourselves, it's kind of pokey, and judgmental, like, what are you doing? And stop that. And, why are you doing that again? Rather than hello, and letting yourself actually hold your body sensation with your awareness. And my sense is that that direct experience, when I do that, it increases my aliveness, that I actually feel more flow. I feel my energy flowing more through me. And then I might flow to another body sensation. And so I would like you to notice what happens for you as you're letting your attention then go out far and then close to you. There's some research now that when you let your attention go far out toward your eyes go far out toward the horizon, that it relaxes your eyes. So letting yourself notice, what's it like to let your attention go out. So like I'm looking at my microphone, which has a little green dot on it, which lets me know it's working. And then far out again, and then close in, and then just letting myself come into my own body sensations and notice what is it drawing my sensations. So now I've got my left high shoulder is going me, pay attention to me. And you can actually wonder about what kind of attention does my body sensation want? And this, my shoulder wants a kind of petting, wants me with my, like a patting, like it's okay. And when I do that, I feel like, oh, oh. So your attention has so many different dynamics that can allow you to receive presence. So let yourself just pause for a moment and take a breath, and maybe let yourself just wiggle or, do something else with your body. Because often I suspect sometimes that you might be treating our being together as like being in school, where you're learning how to do something right, and you may be judgmental about yourself, about, oh, I'm not doing it enough, or I didn't get it, or so give yourself some attention for choosing to be here today, to let yourself give and receive attention. And I want you to let yourself also, when you let your attention go out and then come in, you might look at somebody on the Zoom call, maybe someone who's not familiar to you, and then letting your attention come to a body sensation. The reason I'm suggesting a body sensation for your attention is that it gives you so much a sense of your direct presence. And what I want to add to that now is I want to go ahead and show you the card for today, which from our integrity deck. So for those of you who've not been here before, welcome. Lovely to have you here with us. And I'm sharing more now of different kinds of skills. And in addition to the loop of awareness, we're doing cards, and we're also doing Presence Connect Play. So I'd like you to look at this as this is a new card that we've created. And I really love this card. And it has to do with what we were just practicing, is when you give attention to yourself. And so I'd like you to look at the collage and let me read this to you. I recognize the leaving quality of my body fleeing and easily root into shifting into the root stance of grounded presence, feeling my feet solidly here. And so I'm going to say that again because I sort of messed it up. I recognize the leaving quality of my body fleeing and easily shift into the root stance of grounded presence, feeling my feet solidly here. So another way you can use your loop of awareness is letting yourself loop into feeling your feet. So you can look out and sense outward in the world. And then when you come back to you, notice what happens when I notice my feet and feel my feet. I can notice the sensation of my feet against the floor. And as I'm with that and I give my attention to that, I notice the out breath quality that slows me down, and a sense of I'm here and supported by the earth. I'm supported in my presence. Because I have a sense that many of us are kind of floating around and aren't really feeling ourselves supported, our feet supported, our presence supported. And so starting that at a physical level, I experience that being incredibly supportive of my opening up to having my energy supported, to having my feelings supported, to having my perception and my wants and needs supported, like from the ground up. So I'd like you to also notice, can you feel the nourishment of the earth coming up through your body and supporting your circulation, supporting your presence, supporting your expansion into being here fully today? So the root card, I also want you to notice that it has the tree has a little door. And as a child, I loved to read fairy tales, and I read them from all over the world. And there are a huge number of fairy tales, and stories like fairy tales from other cultures that have people going through an opening in a tree and going down into the roots and having all kinds of adventures and discovering things. And so I want to invite you to imagine that your roots and your depth of connection with the earth can open up all kinds of connections for you, and all kinds of expansion that can come from inside you, as well as we get most of our nourishment from taking it in from outside. But what if we could take in that nourishment directly from the earth and up through our legs? So that's the card for today, which when I was exploring this originally, I would take a card and I would have it then, so I could look at it. I might put it on the mirror, or I might in the mirror in the bathroom, or put it up on the refrigerator so that I could see it and be reminded of that suggestion. And so if that would be of use to you, this is the root card from the deck, and it is from the Fear Melters part of our section. So I wanted to have you experience that. And then the other thing I would love to do is share with you a selection of Presence Connect play. So for those of you who don't know, we have been playing with a new way of being in the world in Presence Connect play, which looks like this when you pull it up on your phone. And it's a free app. And what we've recently done, it took us months to do this, but we now have a place on the website where you can go more deeply into each one of the skills. So if you go, what's that? They're asking me to loop. What is that? And then the website will show you both how to give you directions, and there'll be a little video. And so really want to encourage you to use this resource, because I've found it incredibly supportive, which is part of why I wanted to share it with the world and share it with you. So there's a suggestion for deepening presence, there's a suggestion for opening to connection, and a suggestion for play. So this is to assist us in shifting, particularly from the drama triangle, where people get an adrenaline hit from playing in victim, villain, and hero. And so I've been experimenting with Presence Connect play for several years now. And I noticed that when I let myself do Presence Connect play, I am met. There's always somebody or some opening with the person, with the person with whom I'm interacting, that allows us to have that moment of the nourishment of attention. So presence and loop of awareness and breath, all of those things are to expand our ability to receive connection. So present, the suggestion is to befriend feelings and to be with. So I'd like you to just notice if you have any sensations that are going on in your shoulders and neck, maybe jaw, any kind of sensations there, or if you have sensations that are going on in your high chest or sensations in your belly. Those are what we call the big three, the body sensations that let you know that you may be experiencing back of the neck and shoulders are about anger, and high chest and throat are about sadness, and your belly, the sensations of racy, queasy around your belly are about fear. And what almost always people do is go from the sensation up into their heads to think about it, or to try to get ahead of, or to figure it out, or to get rid of it, or to control it. And the move that makes the most powerful difference is to be with. And the image that I love to use is to imagine my feeling sitting next to me on a porch swing. And I'm either just rocking with this feeling and being with, or I've got my arm around the feeling, I'm being with. And so I want to invite you to notice the sensations, or you may even know that you have a feeling, an emotion going on right now, which is an accumulation of body sensations. And I'd love for you to just try on for a moment, having it sitting next to, like, my swing in my mind is blue. It's this sort of robin eggs blue, and it's kind of like a bench with cords on it, and it has the most lovely rhythm of swinging. So that's part of it for me, is befriending. So I want to find a rhythm that allows me to be with rather than to go on into doing. So let yourself just imagine being on that porch swing with your feeling for a moment, noticing how that affects your breath. And if you have sensations that come up, I sometimes have memories, or the feeling might just come through even more. So I might start crying, or I might go, oh, that's what I'm really angry about. Or, oh, yeah, that was really, oh, I'm scared about meeting this person that I don't even know. So it will connect you with your brain, but from your body up rather than from escaping your feelings. So that's the suggestion for presence. And the suggestion for connect is to loop your attention, which we have been practicing. And so I want to just then remind you to let yourself notice a body sensation, and then let your attention go out and land on something, either near or far away. So there's this succulent outside the window that is this vibrant orange and yellow and red. And when I look at it, my eyes kind of go and get all, get all enlivened, and then I can bring that enlivened feeling back inside my body. But the heart of loop of awareness is shifting your attention. So if you simply shift your attention, that gets yourself circulating, it gets your presence circulating. And so it's hard to be stuck, and it's easy to be open to new connections and experiences when you're doing your loop of awareness. And then play is to turn words into sound. Often when people get stuck, they're trying to formulate something they're experiencing into words, and words kind of compress, they're taking your experience and like putting it back in the toothpaste tube. So if you're noticing something going on in you, like think of words that are going on inside you right now, where someone says, how are you? And you're trying to find words for that. Well, how about you're all muted? So I'd like you to let yourself make a sound that matches what you're experiencing. And just go ahead and do that a couple of times. So for me, I'm going and then just pause and notice what happens in you from letting yourself sound. Now, I can see by looking at some of you that you're feeling shy about doing this, even though nobody can hear you. I think we have one of the last taboos that we have in society is making sounds. People are always saying, shh, and don't be so loud and don't say that and don't use that tone. So what if you could just let yourself for the next 10 seconds, just let yourself make a sound that matches what you're feeling inside. Yeah, great. And let as much of your body participate in that as possible. So it might be a wah or a and I find that the more I let my body participate, the more aliveness I generate. Yes, and now I can see you doing that too. And I think you'll be able to see that as you're looking at others, because often we move around in the world as if we're being judged every moment, and we have to be on our best behavior. And that tends to make us, more, closed in on ourselves. So letting yourself be wild and weird through sound opens up so much ability to play. Oh, yes, that looks, yeah. Now, notice, are you having more fun now after just doing that little bit of making sound? Yeah, so I do that sometimes in the car. I'll be, at a stop sign, or I'll be driving along, going, down to LA and back. And part of what I do is let myself sound rather than trying to put things into words. And that just keeps the flow going. So thank you so much for your company and your presence today. And I'm going to go ahead and take my leave and invite you all to stay and continue making sounds at each other for as long as you like. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.